What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls Podcast. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app. Use that promo code CHGO when you sign up. Get some bets in for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Joined by my guy, Big Dave, BAWL Sports, and our pal and producer, Joey Spathis. He is at Joey Spathis. We are CHGO_Bulls. Kicking it in Studio B. How we doing, gentlemen? Are you just admiring how handsome you are in the monitor, Dave? Is that what you're doing?
Like, seriously. Like, it's crazy right now, son. Like, I saw my hair, and I looked at it. I said, damn, look at this dude right here, son.
Y'all get a two-dimensional seat of that view all the time. I get a front row seat. Honestly, overwhelming sometimes.
It's one of the perks. One of the perks of the gig. Joey, where were you yesterday, sir?
I was off yesterday because I worked on Sunday to do Cubs and White Sox shows. Okay. So yesterday was my day off.
What you doing? What did Joey Spathis do on a day off?
I had some errands I had to run. Went to the grocery store. Yeah. Went to dinner with my girlfriend. That was nice. Yeah, just crossing
being
some
an
stuff off the list.
Sucks, doesn't it, Joe?
That does sound very adulty, man.
It was a nice day, actually. Watched Ted Lasso. Okay. It was a good, I enjoyed my day.
Gonna have ourselves a nice little Saturday?
Yeah.
Don't know if we'll have time to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah. Don't know if we'll have time.
You know what? No, pour it out. Let's go.
Once it hits your lips.
Fill it again.
Once it hits your lips.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we are nearing a holiday weekend. Will and Mark will have a fresh HQ for you guys in your feeds tomorrow. You got me and Big Dave today with all this talk about Jimmy Butler's run to the conference finals with the Heat, maybe another finals run with the Heat. I don't know about you. I'm a little Jimmy Butlered out.
Of course you are, but you were Jimmy Butlered out.
I was Jimmy Butlered out in 2017.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So to shift gears, we're going to talk about a different former Bull, beloved by many Bulls fans today, and it's because his name popped up in a recent NBA podcast, and that's Derrick Rose. Well, there are a lot of Bulls fans crying about what could have been with Jimmy, who's on these, incredible playoff performances.
Here. Go ahead.
If you're talking about former Bulls returning with roster moves this summer, Derrick Rose is a far more possible and far more likely candidate among all of them. And in case you missed it, this was from the HoopsHype podcast that's hosted by Michael Scotto, who is an NBA insider, NBA reporter based on the East Coast.
Shout out.
He was talking with two Knicks reporters, Ian Begley of SNY and Stefan Bondy of the New York Daily News. Here's a transcript of this part of their conversation talking about the Knicks, Derrick Rose, and their offseason. Scotto said when he was here in Chicago for the NBA Draft Combine, some executives were wondering how much gas he still has in the tank. He's got a huge number looking ahead towards next season, team option for $15.6 million. That's a lot of money for a guy who was seldomly used. You'd imagine the Knicks would decline that option. In my opinion, I think the Chicago Bulls make a ton of sense for Derrick Rose in free agency. Would be a nice homecoming for him towards the end of his career. We saw when he was back in town how beloved he still is by that fan base. No lies there. They'll be missing Lonzo Ball, and if they're trying to compete and win, he's an excellent bridge as a veteran mentor to some of the younger guys on that roster. I think he still has some gas left in the tank. Stefan Bondy of New York Daily News chimed in saying, obviously, they're not going to pick up that team option, and he's going to hit free agency. As far as the Bulls, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Dave, thoughts on this?
Yeah, one, I want you to do something real quick to explain to them what the team option means. I just want people to know all of the detail of this.
So the final year on Derrick's contract that he signed with the Knicks is rather than a player option where the player says, yes, I want to pick up that year of my contract and stay here for that money. A team option is they can decide whether or not they want to bring that player back on those terms. So Derrick Rose is under contract as a New York Knick next season for, as they pointed out, $15.6 million. The team has the option, if they so choose, to decline that contract without paying Derrick Rose that money.
Correct.
And sending him into free agency.
Correct. I just wanted people to understand before I got into this. So, all right, let's start there. I'm going to start there. On the team option, as far as money-wise, I think, yes, it's a decision that the Bulls could make because I don't see the Knicks picking up that $15 million. Clearly, he was just there as a guy. Don't know what he has left at all. Because we didn't see it. But regardless of however it happened, he wasn't in the rotation. And they were going another way. He was there, to provide those point guards, with the knowledge, being the veteran on the squad, those kind of things. I believe in year 14, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
So at the back end of the season, he basically became the Knicks version of Udonis Haslem.
Right, correct.
And his role in Miami.
Right.
Like Haslem is on a roster spot, which baffles a lot of people because the dude never plays. But that only happened with Derrick towards the back end of the season.
Correct.
For the previous couple of seasons, sometimes and most often in a reserve role, but he was still playing minutes. Like last season, I went back and checked. D Rose averaged 24.5 minutes per game last season. This
12.
season, it fell to 12. And beyond that, other than 1 2-minute appearance in a regular season game in late February and 1 2-minute appearance in their first round series against the Cavs in Game 3, Derrick Rose was DNPs across the board since New Year's Day.
Yeah, wild business. So I guess just fell out of favor with Tibbs, or I don't know how.
Focusing on some of the younger guards.
Yeah.
Giving a lot more playing time to Emmanuel Quickly.
Because they have several guards. I mean, you got Grimes, you got Quickly, of course you got my man Brunson.
Brunson, yeah.
Of course, you have those guys to focus on. And Tibbs, him, once he gets a focus on something, that's it. That's what it's going to be. He's trying to make the playoffs, not appease people. So I get that. So again, like looking at it, I don't know what Derrick Rose has left in the tank. That's one. But as far as the option and the money, yeah. And I feel like the Bulls are definitely in play because Derrick Rose has shown you he's not moving super far away from a certain area. Look at the teams that he's played for. Cleveland, Detroit, Minnesota, New York. And New York has probably been the farthest away.
Yeah.
And that is the team that he actually went AWOL on.
And his first stint, he didn't like it.
Correct.
When he first arrived there via trade from the Bulls, that was his AWOL season.
Went AWOL on them, bro.
And then
he left and went home.
Were it not Tibbs right now, he probably wouldn't be there.
Seriously, and Tibbs in Minnesota, he probably wouldn't have went to Minnesota, but he went there. Detroit's not that far away. Like Cleveland's not that far away. He clearly wants to stay within that Midwest region.
Speaking of which, Ian Begley of SNY chimed into this conversation from the HoopsHype pod saying he's heard some people think Milwaukee would be interested in Derrick Rose services.
They're right
Speaking
there.
of Midwestern cities.
Yeah.
He also did make note of the fact that James Dolan, you loser, loves him some Derrick Rose. And so maybe it's declining a team option because they're not going to pay Derrick $15 million this summer / next season, but maybe offering him something else.
Yeah.
To stick around in a vet role because apparently James Dolan, huge D Rose guy.
And I can't blame him for that. Derrick Rose is an awesome individual. But I don't know if he's 15 million beloved.
For sure
awesome
not.
Individual. That's a whole different monster. So I'm interested to see what he's offered in free agency. But I think whatever he's offered, I think it's something the Bulls can afford and the Bulls can actually do. 2 is definitely, now let me talk about the heart. Because the heart damn sure wants this. Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. My heart wants Derrick Rose, and I think all of Bulls Nation's hearts wants Derrick Rose back in the Bulls uniform. It's kind of where I thought it would go when he's ready to retire. He would somehow end up here, whether it's this upcoming season or next season, however you want to do it. But I thought he would always end up in Chicago for some kind of reason. So this is a perfect way to do it, a perfect way for him to go out. Joakim's back here as the ambassador. Those guys always show up as far as Taj and all those guys like that. They always come through. So it would be cool to see that happen. And just every night, just hearing the UC chant Derrick Rose's name, just be happy to see him. The things he can actually teach some of these guards and help them. I mean, it would be fun. I would really, really enjoy that. That's my heart talking right there on now. I would really, truly enjoy that.
Yes. And there's the heart part of this, and then there's the
head,
the mind, the head part of this.
Correct.
Which, speaking of which, Renewable and Rechargeable Review, one of several chiming in the comments saying, is this a sentimental thing or can he help us win? And for how long? If not going for a championship now, why not utilize that roster spot for a younger guy or someone to develop? I think that is a very good point that you make.
Yes.
But at the same time, Carlos saying he should retire at home. End of discussion.
Yeah.
Spooky Kitty saying, please just give us our D Rose back. Clearly, fans, I think, would embrace this in the heart element.
Yeah.
Fair to wonder, head element, can he actually help this team win in a backup point guard veteran role?
Correct.
I think that there could be some proof of that.
Sure.
Like, he basically just came out of the rotation in New York because, like Renewable and Rechargeable was saying for here with the Bulls, that they might maybe should focus on is developing younger talent instead.
Correct.
But there's the other element, and you probably won't be surprised to hear me say this.
Come on with it.
As much as the heart part would make me happy, it would drive the head part of me freaking insane.
I know where you're going.
If the organization uses Derrick coming home and Derrick Rose jerseys back up on every shelf of the Madhouse team store and on their website, and come watch Derrick Rose play at home back at the Madhouse to sell their tickets this summer and this offseason, that would devastate me and drive me mad, because what I want them focusing on is building competitive rosters and fixing this one that has lots of apparent flaws.
Now, you're strictly talking about if this is the biggest move they make.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
If what they do is, hey, we basically are going to run it back with Zach and DeMar and Vooch. We're going to, we'll bring back Kobe. Kobe's going to be our starting point guard this season on a new contract. And we'll talk a little bit later on as far as the different ways and contracts the Bulls could offer Derrick something. But if he is the move this summer, as much as my head would, as much as my heart would explode with joy and tears of happiness would stream down my face to see that, my head would explode, because I'm like, we can't let them get away with this again. Not after D Wade, not after Jabari Parker. Don't pull this crap where you just sell nostalgia to this fan base over and over and over again instead of building an actual goddamn winner, because I have had it with that crap. And that has nothing to do with animosity towards Derrick specifically.
Correct. This is organization.
It is the animosity directed at this organization.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. If this is the only move they make and they try to sell us like that, I will be right in line with you, sir, holding the torch with you, sir. That would be some bullshit if that's what you're going to pass off. It would be very similar to what they did last year in free agency by just getting Drummond and just getting Dragic. Like, what the hell? That's it? Those are the big moves? That's what we doing? It would be very similar to that. Not saying, again, this isn't an indictment on D Rose, because we beloved Derrick Rose, all right? And I personally still think he has something left in the tank. I really do. I think he has something left, and I still think he has something to prove, that he still can do his thing out on the basketball court. But he's right, because we've seen them do this, and it was upsetting to a lot of the fan base. Now, me personally, I didn't mind it at all. I didn't care. I wanted D-Wade, we're going to the playoffs. That's all I thought in my head, and we did. And don't get me started on the 2-0. Shout out Alex Caruso for rolling with me.
As an 8th seed with a tiebreaker at 41-41.
Yeah.
Look how far we've come since then.
2-0 being around the hurt. But yeah, it can't be the biggest move that they make. I'm going to lean on the fact that Garpax isn't here anymore, and AK doesn't seem like that kind of guy. He would do that. I think he'll bring back Derrick Rose for the sentimental value, but I don't think he'll bring him back and just be like, okay, we're done right here. That's just me thinking that. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But Derrick Rose can help this team, if I'm being completely honest about it, as far as the mentorship that he can offer these guys out here. I think he was very valuable for Jalen Brunson. I really do. I think he can be valuable for the point guards here. But the Bulls, and what makes this so interesting, Matt, is they are devoid at that position, even though they've got several. It's like a quarterback to me. If you got 3 quarterbacks, then you've got none. That's kind of how I feel about it.
We've got Nick Foles.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Come Come on.
Mike Glennon.
We had 2 Knicks, you know what I'm saying, on our team.
Todd Campbell.
You know what I mean? And Hutchinsons and, you know what I mean? And Joneses and Stendstroms. Don't get me started.
He's 34 years old.
Yeah.
His current contract is 3 years, I think $42 million.
Yeah, he's owed 15
on
the team option.
Let's say if he declines a team option, like, I agree it would not be a good move if that's the only move they're making, but like I don't see him sign. Like, he hasn't played since New Year's Day. Like, do you really see him getting much more than a minimum?
Oh, you're talking about contract wise.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's within the Bulls' wheelhouse financially,
right,
to get a guy like Derrick Rose. Like,
right,
that money is going to come way down from that $15 million, for
right.
sure.
Yeah,
that's where I'm like,
which is why it's actually something that as I saw these New York NBA people talking about this on this podcast this morning, thought, oh man, like this is actually something the Bulls could do financially with their current situation.
They could, yeah, and
not necessarily AK and Eversley and this, coming into year 3 of their tenure front office, more so than the old regime, but certainly like I could totally see them doing this.
Yeah, I can
because it makes sense financially.
Yeah,
and it's something that they have done repeatedly.
Yeah, it's another side of this I'll get into after we do these commercials and things. But personally, Joey, do you want him here? Like, would you be okay with Derrick Rose?
Yes, no question for me. It's no question for me because, yes, I mean, there's part of me that looks at him, it's like that's a bullshit move on behalf of the organization, and it's a cop out. But at the same time, it's like my happiness to see Derrick back in Chicago for our own sake as fans, and also for him to come home and just put some closure on that chapter in his career makes it worth it for me. And also a guy who understands he's part of the last really good Bulls team and understands like what it means to the city to have a team that competes and plays, and like, just a guy who I think understands what it really means to be a Bull. If you can get him on a minimum or somewhere around that, then no question for me, I'm doing it.
He's the only one that has the opportunity to get that kind of closure with the Bulls. Joakim didn't get it. I don't think Taj is going to get it. Like, from that squad, he's the only one that really has a true opportunity to get that kind of closure, man. So it's possible. And I still think he can play. And that's the key of this. That's,
some of the people in the comments agree with you, Dave. John Ortiz saying Derrick's a fighter. He'd be a bad as stud if he's still healthy. Our guy Old Buckner saying, I love D Rose to mentor Kobe and Dalen.
Oh, Dalen, I forgot about that.
Vanilla Chill chiming in on a similar thought, saying if you bring Derrick back, you should be bringing in a young point guard too. But I guess that could be Kobe White if we re-sign him. Meanwhile, Fly the Dub. The ever optimist among Chicago sports fans,
My
Fly
guy.
the Dub, saying he sucks. No thanks.
My guy.
Covered all the bases.
My guy.
Anthony saying Joakim out of retirement. Don't you dare tempt me, Anthony.
Do that to him.
Don't you do that
Leave
to me.
Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone,
Although,
man.
just that short little clip video that was going around Twitter yesterday of him and Luol just kind of jokingly playing a little one-on-one on that court when they were out in Africa for the BAL yesterday.
Yeah.
I just like we watched him play that pickup game with Tony Parker and those F1 guys in Paris, and I was like, oh, Joe. Lace him up. Lace him up.
The competitive nature just does not go away. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't die. The body will fail you, but the mind does not. And your brain, too.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to more of y'all's thoughts on the hypothetical idea of D Rose coming back this summer, and then also talk a little bit more about contractually with the Bulls salary cap, what's going on, what they could offer Derrick, and what that might do as far as other potential avenues they have contract-wise this summer. While we are sharing words from our friends and sponsors, do us a quick, easy favor. Hit that thumbs up button. If you're watching along on YouTube, if you're watching live or catching the replay, we appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. And, of course, if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We got 31,200 and counting. Woo! Hell yeah. Thanks, every single one of you.
Sexy. Joey, let me ask you a question. If you were baby Joey.
I saw him today.
You saw Baby Joey today?
He's back in
morning,
town?
yeah.
How's he doing?
All right.
He's great.
Good. He's back in town. He got back safe. That's good to know.
Yeah, he was on he didn't want to tell me where it was, but
No, he's secretive, man. He's secretive like that. But if you were baby Joey,
sure.
How would you answer if I said, what time is it?
Game time. Who?
His voice is deep already.
Yeah,
Wow, tried to throw me off there.
Baby Joey right there. I called you right there, but you was ready. You was ready, Joseph Spathers. You was correct and ready. Buying tickets to your favorite events should not be stressful, y'all. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all of the sports, all of the music, all of the comedy, and all of the theater that is near and dear to you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing, stop tripping, and just start enjoying. And get you some of those tickets and get hyped for the fun that your wonderful self and whoever you're taking with you is about to have. What do they have? Well, let me tell you, the flash deals and the last minute tickets. They're easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Images of the seat views. That's like 5 golden rings.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you got that?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
He's picking up what I'm putting down. I like it. The lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, and my favorite thing, job loss protection.
Oh, love that.
You lose the gig, they still got your back, man. They want you to have a good time and enjoy yourself. So snag them tickets without the stress and do it with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create your own account, redeem the code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Because Matt Peck, what time is it?
Game time. Who? Let's go to some rock shows.
Let's do that.
Rock shows.
Rock it out.
Give me a platform. Give me a platform. Let's rock today.
Let's rock today.
Boom! Shoot it and kaboot it.
Shoot it, kaboot it.
Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Pins and Aces,
Yeah.
the official golf apparel partner of ALLCITY and CHGO. We love our Pins and Aces gear and get tons of compliments on and off the course. Their polos, super light, super breathable, great for when you're going up and down those golf courses on a hot summer day. Oh my goodness, they're so great. They also make long sleeves too with hoods. They're family owned. Golf and apparel business that make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and our favorite product of theirs, that innovative, beautifully genius invention.
Awesome.
The beer sleeve. The beer sleeve that stores 7 beers stacked one on top of the other in a tight little sleeve that fits right in your golf bag, keeping your drinks cool throughout your entire round.
He taught me that.
6 in a roadie, baby. 6 in a roadie. I mean, look at this dope ass hat. Look at this dope Pins and Aces hat right here in Studio B with their awesome ass logo. They got these hats in a bunch of different colors, bunch of different varieties, just like their polos and their long sleeves, as well as their golf bags. And oh my God, the beer sleeve. The beer sleeves come in different designs too.
Yes, they do.
Pick your favorite one. Get one of each.
They also have a liquor stick. I don't know if you know about
what?
that. Yeah, there's like a liquor stick.
I've seen this on their
is that
website.
I think
liquor
it's
stick?
sort of like I don't know what the term
stick
is.
of liquor?
I don't know what the term is. There's some sort of stick that you would use in your golf bag.
It's like a dispense.
and it's like a fake.
I got it.
It's like
Yep.
fake.
Nope.
You
Yeah.
put liquor in it,
I've
and
seen
then
it.
you press a button, and it like
Yep.
it like shoots out.
I know it. I first saw it on Caddyshack.
Yeah. So if you're more of a cocktail drinker as opposed to a beer drinker,
Right.
beer drinkers got the beer sleeve, but they got something for everybody.
They got your back,
So
man.
go to pinsandaces.com.
Yeah.
Use that promo code CHGO when you when you check out, and you'll receive 15% off your first order and free shipping. One more time, that's pinsandaces.com. Promo code CHGO at checkout for 15% off your order and free shipping. So funny.
Look at doing what Richardson says. Liquor, I barely met her.
We got some fools in the comments today. I love it.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Okay. Thank you to Kyle Williams. Not that Kyle Williams.
Not that Kyle
Who said,
Williams.
hit the dang like button, folks. Yes. Wonderful advice. Follow it blindly. All right. So continuing on with the Bulls and their cap situation.
Yeah.
Let's just assume a couple of things for now for the sake of this conversation about Derrick Rose.
Okay.
Let's assume the Bulls bring back Vooch on a 2 or 3 year deal for 18 to 20 annually.
Okay.
18 to 20 million annually.
Okay.
Let's also assume they re-sign Kobe on those bird rights in the $13 to $15 million range annually.
Got you.
Let's say they bring back Ayo Dosunmu on a 3 or 4 million annually contract. What's up, Ayo? Let's also assume, speaking of team options, I saw a joke from somebody in the comments earlier. I think it was our guy, Beat Daddy Fish, saying, "Oh, whoa, team options? We should try some of those instead of all of the player options that the Bulls have been handing out."
They hand out a ton of player options. It's true.
Drummond has one.
Yep.
Derrick Jones Jr. has one.
Sure
We've already heard from DJJ. He's like, "Oh, I'm picking that up."
Damn right.
His is $3.3 million. Drummond has a player option for $3.6 million. Let's assume both of them are picked up.
Okay.
Let's assume, however, that Marco and Carlik Jones are released, so their money comes off the books.
No.
I know.
Yeah,
devastating.
no.
It's not a lot. Collectively, it's a little less than $3 million.
Sure.
Their two contracts together. So, if all of those things happen, Vooch back, Kobe back, Ayo back, Drummond and DJJ pick up their options. That leaves the Bulls somewhere, depending on the nitty gritty of those numbers, $7 to $9 million under the luxury tax line, but over the cap.
Okay.
So operating as an over the cap team and under that luxury tax line by $7 to $9 million, the Bulls have two things at their disposal this offseason. They've got the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, MLE, which this upcoming season will be for $12.2 million, and the biannual exception, the exception you can only use every other year. Didn't use it last year because 2 years ago they used it to add Tristan Thompson mid-season.
Correct.
The biannual exception this upcoming season is $4.4 million.
Sexy.
So between those two, you're like, okay, there's $12 million there, there's $4 million there. However, if the Bulls were to spend all of the mid-level and all of the biannual, you add those numbers up. What is that, $16 million? That would put them over the luxury tax line by about $8 million.
Yes.
They're not doing that. So basically, if the Bulls, as we assume, are going to be a over the cap but under the luxury tax line team, as they always are, again next season, they can only use somewhere between $7 to $9 million of that non-taxpayer MLE and or that biannual exception. Derrick Rose could be a player that they use the biannual exception or part of the biannual exception for.
Okay.
If you think, okay, like Joey was saying, vet minimum, whatever that is, does Derrick Rose, flirt with the idea of coming back home and being a Chicago Bull again for an offer of 1 or 2 year deal that pays him $2 to $3 million
I think
annually?
the minimum is like 197, somewhere around there, just under $2 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on that, Dave? Knowing all of that salary cap math.
Asking, do I still go get Derrick Rose? Or
Right.
Knowing all of that math, if you're getting rid of Carlik Jones, who that's the person I wanted to talk about and bring up, if in this scenario we're getting rid of him, then yes, I'm going after Derrick Rose. You mentioned Milwaukee. I'm curious to see how much they're willing to do, for a guy like Derrick Rose, because that makes it a little harder. You can't just, lean on, hey, man, this is where you started, when they're like, hey, man, we got Giannis. You know what I mean? We got Bobby Portis. We got guys who have been deep in the playoffs. And I'm sure at this point in his career, like any other veteran in the NBA, you're trying to get a championship ring or at least make a deep playoff run. We saw Tracy McGrady do it with the Spurs when he was there. Finally got close. The man never got out the first round until he sat on the bench with the Spurs, all right? So it'll be interesting to see how Derrick Rose is feeling about that. Now, from what we know about Derrick Rose, he doesn't seem like a guy that's particularly moved by things like money.
Yeah.
He likes the money, of course. I mean, he's got a lifetime contract with Adidas.
He's made plenty.
He's made tons.
Between his shoes and his salary over the years.
Yeah, like I said, like Adidas forever. All right? Like he's fine. He'll be okay. He's going to get a check. I'm wondering what matters more to him. That closure here in Chicago or that opportunity to make that deep run in the playoffs and get to a finals. Because that's the two differences between the Chicago Bulls and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bulls aren't set up to make a deep playoff run. Even with the moves they make in the offseason, I still don't see a deep playoff run. By deep, I'm talking Eastern Conference Finals. Deep kind of playoff run. I don't see it. Again, I could be shocked because, as y'all know, you never know. Anything can happen. We get that. But on paper, it doesn't look that way for the Bulls. So I'm curious as Derrick Rose's mindset on this because he seems like a guy that's at peace right about now. Like Joe Kim Noah talked about it in the interview. He's just enjoying the fact that he's happy right now. And he's just real content with who he is. So that's what's going to be interesting. We know how it broke his heart how he left Chicago. How do we know this? We saw the documentary when it happened.
Oh, man.
And it broke his heart, and it broke everybody's heart. You know, I think everybody watching that felt that moment. So that will be interesting to see if he wants that kind of closure back here in Chicago, or if you're just going an hour away to Milwaukee to go ahead and get you an opportunity to win. But personally, Matt, I think it's set up for the Bulls to make a run at Derrick Rose if they really want him.
Yeah. I mean, so to me, it goes back to, do you think he can help them win?
Yeah.
Because if the Bulls are going to be under the tax and have only the margins to try to improve this roster, assuming they don't make some big, huge trade involving Zach and or DeMar, a sign and trade with Vooch. If they bring the core back, #continuity, then they're working on the margins with the biannual exception and the mid-level exception, and they can't even use all of each of them.
Right.
Unless they're going in. So that's the thing to me, is bringing Derrick back on most or all of the biannual exception. So giving him somewhere between, I don't know, $2.5, $4 million annually on a 2 or 3 year deal. Do you think he's going to help the roster that much to make that use of that money worth it when you know you have such a small pool to utilize? Because let's say they do. Let's just say they signed Derrick on the biannual, and now the $7 to $9 million they had to flirt with, assuming Vooch, Kobe, et cetera, Drummond, DJJ, all picking up. Then instead of $7 to $9 million, you're at $5 to $7 million. So basically only being able to spend half of the full mid-level of $12 million on one player annually at $5 million-ish, or maybe trying to even split that up, because you can split how you use the biannual and the mid-level. You can spend a portion of those contracts on multiple players. You can't combine them to sign one contract for one player. But if they sign Derrick on the biannual, they basically are going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 million to offer 1 or 2 more players. Which is like this roster and all of its needs. Oh, dear God.
But to the question you were asking, and the question Joey was asking, can he help this team? Can he help the Bulls now? I think he would get an opportunity to help this team if he came here, more so than if I mentioned a team like Milwaukee. Because, again, the Bulls don't have a solid point guard right now that they're like, this is the guy that's starting. So there is still an opportunity there. Not saying he's going to walk in and take it or something like that, but please remember that Patrick Beverley was handed the starting point guard position, and he walked in off the street. He literally walked in off the street. He was not with the Lakers. They had cut him. He walked in off the street, bro. And he was like, you're the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls, sir. You're getting all these minutes. Matter of fact, you're going to get minutes at the end against Miami even when you weren't doing shit. But
it's okay. He's going to go play in Houston with James Harden again. 100%.
So excited about
100%. He's going to make James Harden better. He's going to make the Rockets championship contenders again. Pay Pat Bev all the money.
Yes. But the thing I'm saying, like, the opportunity is going to be there because nothing's solidified at that position. So we're talking Kobe and we're talking Ayo, right? And we're talking Dalen Terry, you know, because Dalen can play the 1 to 2, whatever he wants. But there's nothing solid right there. So a guy like Billy Donovan will give you an opportunity, especially to his vets. He's shown you that. He will give his vets an opportunity to do something. We saw it with Dragic.
Yeah.
He gave him a shot.
And speaking of these old Bulls and who is still occasionally kicking around, you know who would be in Billy's ear about giving D Rose real minutes in a real role? His former champion mentee, Joakim Noah.
Yes, he will. Hey, Billy. Talk to him right there. Let me talk to you. You know, like, why wouldn't he be?
Joe was saying that to KG on that show that they did that dropped earlier this week.
They both still
he's like, dude, D-Rose still got something.
Still got something left. I mean, he definitely got plenty of rest. He still got something left in there. So it's wild because I've never really seen a season where he hasn't averaged under 10 points until the time he was sitting on the bench last year.
Yeah.
This year that just happened. So, yeah, man, I think he has an opportunity to prove it. Derrick Rose likes challenges. He enjoys a challenge. Y'all think I'm done? Y'all think I ain't got it? Y'all think I can't do it back here in Chicago? Let me prove it to you. I can see him doing something like that. So, again, it comes down to, what does he want the most? Does he want to come here and prove it here? or go to Milwaukee and have an opportunity to win, because I don't think he'll get that opportunity to prove it so hard in Milwaukee, because they feel like they're pretty set with their situation.
I was going to say, unless they have any major shakeups, it's like they might look at what went wrong as a 1 seed losing to an 8 seed, and it's like, well, Giannis was hurt in that series and missed 2.5 games of it. I also think they choked, and I also think their coach, who has since been fired, did them no favors as far as out coaching.
And that loss looks a lot better now. The Heat are a game away from going to the NBA Finals and defeating on the way the Celtics, who were clear like that. Yes, it's a disappointment, but that at the time that looked like one of the worst playoff losses in recent memory. I do think now
still is.
It's bad.
I don't know,
but you got to give some credit to the way the Heat are playing right now. And I think we did that before, but I think that in hindsight, I think it's a little less glaring on the Bucks' behalf.
No offense to Derek, who wasn't playing, or Tibbs, who we love. I don't think beating that Knicks squad in the conference semis said anything all that impressive about Miami. And if they do finish off these soft as baby shit mentally Boston Celtics in the conference finals, I don't think that says a great deal either. But maybe that's just me.
That's an easy write-off on the Celtics, but they played in the finals last year. They've got two all-NBA forwards, and they're a superior, they're much more talented team than the Heat. So
without a question.
You can't, whatever. My thing is, I don't know how much Derrick Rose can help on the court. I do think he can help a ton in the culture, in the locker room, being a veteran presence, mentoring some of the younger guys. I just, like Matt said, like, if they bring back the core, if they bring back Vooch, they bring back all the player options that we talked about, like
Toby.
They're really backed into a corner financially. So I'm like, I don't know if you don't bring back Derrick Rose, I don't know what other options you're doing that you're not like. Almost anything you're doing at that point is just throwing darts at the board and seeing what's going to stick. And
then you're doing what Matt doesn't want you to do, getting Derrick Rose and making him the big signing.
Right. But I'm like, if you're bringing back the whole core either way, there is no big signing. There's not there. Yeah. What move are you making that's moving the needle?
And let's say they don't bring back Derrick Rose, they have between the biannual and the mid-level not being able to use all of each of them.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere, like I said earlier, explained earlier, somewhere between $7 and $9 million.
Yeah.
That you could split up and offer collectively to a few different pieces, or all of it, all of the mid-level and all of the biannual to two pieces. But that's it. You're talking about less than $10 million to be able to offer pieces that you want to add to your roster this season.
Exactly. Fly the Dove says you guys are probably wanting to bring Javi back. I'm not a Cubs fan. Did y'all want to bring Javi back?
Javi Baez? I loved Javi.
Okay.
He was on an awesomely entertaining team that won us a World Series.
First of all, I don't know any Cubs fans who are talking about even bringing Javi Baez. It's not even like a point of conversation. You just signed a massive contract. That doesn't even, it's not even a thing that's talked about.
He went at you that Fly the Dove.
I don't know. Maybe is that something that they talk a lot about in our Cubs show? Because I watch our Cubs show pretty regularly. I'm not hearing that, even from superfan Cody.
All right, Fly the Dub, sorry. Nobody's talking about it.
I don't know. Maybe Fly the Dubs had too much like hobby love. I don't know whose barbecues you're hanging out at and who are you talking to in the Cubs fandom universe.
And Vanilla Chill makes a good point. Like, Javi and Derrick Rose do not mean the same to the city of Chicago.
Oh my God,
that's a fact.
No.
This is a different. You cannot just look at it from an on the court standpoint. Like, what Derrick Rose is to this city, and you guys obviously know it. Everybody in the chat who's a Bulls fan know it. Like, it's unquantifiable. There's very few athletes that have as strong of a connection to a given city, I feel like, in all of sports.
You can't wear his number. It's not retired, but you can't wear it. That should let you know right there, what it is about Derrick Rose and what he means to Chicago. So that's why I like this conversation, because you can't have this conversation without talking about the heart of it. You can talk about all the mind and the basketball lot. You cannot have a Derrick Rose in Chicago conversation without you mentioning the heart.
Well, it's funny you say that. Windy City Vids just chimed in the comments saying, out of anything this team needs, experience, heart, love of basketball, and the freedom. That's what you're going to get in D-Rose. What do you mean by freedom?
I don't know what that means.
Are Bulls?
I don't know what that means.
Are the Chicago Bulls in some sort of mind prison right now without Derrick Rose's presence? I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm in a mind prison as a Bulls fan.
break free.
And guess what? If they bring Derrick back and don't do anything else, but they sell out the United Center every night because they brought Derrick back, I'm still going to be in that mind prison.
Look at him. He's angry now.
Is he coming into the locker room?
Angry at a hypothetical, and he's drained.
He swallowed a key before he came into the locker room, and he's going to go pass it in the bathroom and break everyone out.
That's right. That's right. D Rose is on that Houdini shit. Poudini. People call him Poudini.
Poudini.
People call him Poudini.
This is true. This is a fact, man.
All right, let's take another break. We'll come back, wrap up with a couple more final thoughts on this, maybe a few more comments, and then quick prediction on who do we got tonight? Ooh, does the Eastern Conference Final keep going, or does it end tonight?
Yeah.
Like that emo song.
Yeah.
Isn't there an emo song called It Ends Tonight? I can't remember who it's by. I want to say
tonight. Tell him, Joey. Look it up.
Is it like My Chemical Romance? Or
What was the song called?
Say it again, Sean.
All American Rejects. Thank you, Sean.
We are loud.
From the bleachers.
We are really loud. Little bit, Lawrence. Little bit. Oh, damn. We thought we were at like a 5 or a 6.
We're using our inside
Yeah, we use
voices
for
right
real.
now.
We really. Yo, that's bad. Like, Sean is not even sitting anywhere close to us, though. Like, he's like down
Not
there.
even.
Oh, wow. We're loud.
It's not. This is double pane soundproof glass. These are not soundproof glass doors. And the murderer closed the door before he left. Damn, I'm good.
Loser.
Get him out of here.
Loser. Can you feel that? This house is clear.
Exercise the demons. Oh my gosh, can we just be done and turn on Ace Ventura?
Yeah, why not? Just a genius thing. I always hear Peck on the White Sox podcast.
From where?
I guess when they're in Studio B, and we're doing the show together.
I am quiet as a church mouse when I'm over sitting at the benches.
He's sitting at the far end. Like, he's not even sitting near Studio B. He's at the far end.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe what Big Dave, when we're in A and they're in B.
When we're doing a show.
That could be
in there.
I think that's what you meant.
And they're in here.
But it's not as fun to say that you can hear him because he's far away in A while they're
Well, we did have a message sent in the company Slack about how he had to keep it down when we're
While we weren't here.
Yeah, that wasn't on us.
I remember
no blame.
that.
Hey, man, cheers on that.
Hey, cheers.
We take no blame on that, buddy.
I looked because I wasn't
in front of the mics. We are loud AF.
Yeah, this is who we are. We know what we signed up for, man.
I checked the schedule to see who was in that day, and I was like, whoa, it's actually not
us.
unless you guys are just there hanging out on your
I know who the usual suspects are when Jake sends those messages. I'm not going to say because I'm a team player here. I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
I have no idea. I keep to myself. But I love everyone. So, yeah.
It's you.
I will fall on the sword.
JK LOL. Hey, shop at FOCO. You should try it out.
Damn. He's angry.
I'm not angry. I'm excited.
Well, excited for FOCO.
Get fitted out the best sports gear around. First and foremost, of course, is the CHGO merch locker. After you're shopping there, which, by the way, we're having a Memorial Day sale at the CHGO merch locker. All of our baseball tees, all of our Cubs tees, all of our White Sox tees, they are all going to be on sale Memorial Day weekend, so check that out.
That'd be awesome.
But after that, go do some shopping at FOCO, too. They've got hoodies, they've got shoes, they've got signs, they've got bobbleheads, everything in betwixt. It's spring. It's baseball season. It's almost summertime baseball season. That means aloha shirts, straw hats, polos, bags, everything you need to go to the game this summer. Plus some of our set decorations here in Studio B and in Studio A, kindly donated by our friends at FOCO. They show us some love, so you should go show them some love, and also get deals on their great products. Check out FOCO.com, that's FOCO.com, or click the link in the description below. For all non-presale items, use that promo code CHGO at checkout for 10% off your order. One more time, that's FOCO.com, promo code CHGO for 10% off.
I just got a text from Baby Joey. Said he's headed to Boston later.
Heading to Boston?
Yeah.
He going to Game 5 tonight?
He never says if he is or not, but he's taken, for some reason, he sent me a picture of a referee shirt and a whistle. I don't know why, but that's just what he sent me. That's just what he sent to me.
Man.
I don't know what that means, man. Wait, hold on. Another text.
You think Baby Joey and Scott Foster are calling in the fix tonight?
I mean,
I actually haven't even looked to see who's the officiating group for tonight.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but he did just send me another text and it just simply says they never understood.
They
never understood. Baby Joey don't get it. Shady Rays don't get it. Why? Why are these glasses so expensive that you want to put on your face? Why?
Oh my goodness.
You don't have to pay all that money to look good. You can just rock with Shady Rays, baby. That independent sunglasses company offers that world-class product that is just as good as any expensive pair that you have ever put upon your sexy face. Durable frames, extremely clear optics, and they do it all for your outdoor. And as Matt Peck is about to prove in about 5 seconds, your indoor adventures in 3, 2, 1. Splack Hal. But also the Matt Peck Lost and Broken Replacements plan. Bow! Snap. Yeah, Joey. Yeah. You know why it sounded like that? Because glasses might have been on there. That was for effect. That was letting you know what it would sound like when he's that angry. How dare you?
Jesus.
It's loud.
Oh. Joey puts up with so much.
He does. Puts up with a lot. But because of that, the glasses be broken, we can just send him a new pair.
That's true.
They can just get you a new pair of sunglasses from Shady Rays, man. Or let's say you don't like the style that you got because you put them on your face. You said, these don't look cool on me. They look cool on other people, but not on me. You can send it back and get the pair that looks cool on you as long as you do it within 30 days. It's free. No risk when you shop. And their team always has got a yo back. So, exclusively for the listeners out there, Shady Rays Memorial Day sale. Hey, 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 it's live right now. Go to shadyrays.com and get 35% off of all sunglasses. And try it for yourself. The shades that are rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people, y'all. Because the Shady Rays, the Rays are oh so shady.
Dude, when we are in Studio B, this little sound box, the try for yourself, it has nowhere to go. So it's just.
I was going to say, yeah, the acoustics are crazy in here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, me and Matt are not built for this room.
We are not.
But, you know, we like it. Sorry, Joey.
You must be this quiet to use the studio.
That's right. You're going to flip out, man.
People are talking about D Rose looking like Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That is what they're talking about.
Shout out MF Doom.
Man, I have not watched that show in a while.
It's been a minute.
But I do remember a phase of my life where catching Aqua Teen Hunger Force on is an Adult Swim, right?
Yes, correct.
Was like a nightly must do.
Correct.
Apparently, Meat Wad, the
Wad.
meatball,
Yes.
looks like Shaq, according to I'm a Spooky Kitty. So, I mean, he's literally a ball with 2 eyes.
Here's some reference for you, Matt. MF Doom, you know,
I do.
Guy,
Yeah.
MF Doom made an album for Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Really?
And it's freaking dope.
That's
It's so
pretty
dope.
cool.
Him and Danger Mouse. It's called Danger Doom, as a matter of fact. But they had an album, man. Yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and it made songs about it. And they were all on it. Meat Wad was on it. Carl was on it. Like, everybody, all them guys were on it, man. That joint is dope. Doom used to be all over Adult Swim doing music for them, man.
No kidding.
Awesome. Yeah, seriously.
Did not know that. Yeah, we got people in the comments saying R.I.P. MF Doom. I remember you, and I had never heard of who he was before I met you.
Yes.
Shocking.
Right.
You know, the man who knows everything about music and the man who knows next to nothing about the kinds of music he doesn't listen to. But
MF Doom has all those like old Cartoon Network like sound effects in them, you know, like throughout, littered through like the old. That makes a lot of
he
sense.
and Madlib both kind of do that. But yes, correct. Quasimodo, shout out.
all right, so before we get out of here real quick, Dave, I was just curious on your thoughts of this story for Game 5 tonight between the Celtics and Heat.
Okay, hit me.
Celtics managed to avoid the sweep, won Game 4 in Miami, finally woke up, finally won the three-point battle, finally won the turnover battle.
Finally.
And that was the story of Game 4, something that finally made sense to me. Gonna be even tougher for the Heat to close it out now in Game 5.
Yeah.
On the road instead of at home. And earlier today, they officially ruled out Gabe Vincent for tonight's game with that ankle sprain he suffered.
Yeah.
You look at what Gabe Vincent's done for the Heat in this year. I mean, like, he's been pretty big for them throughout their entire postseason run. But in this series specifically, he is shooting his best and scoring the most of any series thus far for the Heat in the playoffs.
Yeah.
17.5 points, on 11 of 22 shooting from three. Man is shooting 50% from three.
Nasty.
He's also 15 of 16 at the free throw line through his first 4 games of this series. That's a big piece for them to not have tonight in Game 5.
Seriously, man, and it will hurt. But if they have one thing, they have depth. And they have shooters, and that's what makes their depth so lethal, is because the guys they bring in actually still shoot the ball like that. So even though you're losing Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, who's been having a phenomenal series as well, man, he's putting up Vinny Johnson numbers. When I saw his name being mentioned with Vinny Johnson as guys averaging 19 off the bench, like I was like, yeah, you're doing something well when you mention with the microwave. So he can step in and do with that. Duncan Robinson, a guy who has come in and, been really solid for them because he's just hitting those threes. But I think, Matt, it's going to come down to that guy at the center position. It's going to come down to that young man right there. He has got to ball out. Bam has got to do his thing. He really was pedestrian this last game. You didn't really hear from him as much, and he's got to be loud in this one because we know Jimmy Butler is trying to close this out. This is legacy stuff, and Jimmy Butler is about that life. We've seen it. He's about that legacy thing. So he's going to be trying to score 50. Like, he's really going to be like, give me the ball. It's going to be on me in Boston, and where Boston, I believe they're 4-5 in the playoffs at home. So it's not like, they can kill you at home or anything like that.
Yeah, they are not unbeatable at home.
So all the logic tells you is that these teams can go ahead and do that. The logic tells you that this team should be able to close them out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not close them out, but the Celtics should be able to win this at home. They have all the momentum. They're at home. They're the better team, the more talent, all of that. There's been no logic in this series.
Yeah, none.
There's been no logic in this series.
In case you couldn't tell, by the way, it was driving me crazy.
So for that reason, I'm going to say the Heat go ahead and they close this out. I'm going to just keep going with what it's been so far, and that's been no logic. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Heat win.
Yeah. Like, at this point, I'm there with you. It's like I pick the opposite of what my brain tells me is going to happen.
Yeah.
And what my brain tells me is going to happen is the Heat don't have Gabe Vincent. The Celtics finally played like the Celtics in Game 4 and now have a little bit of life.
Yeah.
And the pressure's on Miami to close. My brain's telling me all those things, but nope. Because nothing makes sense in this series, let's roll with the Heat, close it out in 5.
But do I want to see that? No.
I
want to see Boston win.
A Game 6.
More, please.
And then a Game 7.
Yes.
We got between now and next Thursday until Game 1 of the finals.
Yes. I want more, guys.
That's too many days.
Too many on my days. It's losing count on my fingers and stuff, man.
It's a woozy, it's a wazzy.
It's too much, dog. Like, I want this to go ahead and keep going. I just wanted to keep going. So hopefully Boston comes out and do it, but I just got to go with the fact that logic does not exist in this series.
Joe, who you got tonight? And who you taking for first basket?
Ooh. That's his favorite.
Okay. It's tough. The Vincent injury gives me some hesitation, but I will go with the Heat to close it out tonight because I don't know. I thought it took the Celtics' best half in a long time to put that game away in the second half, and they were just sticking around. So I like Bam for the first basket.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I like Bam inside from Jimmy on one of those little pocket passes and, one of those little 10-foot mid-range, like push shot floaters. I think, they got to get Bam going aggressive if they want to win, especially with no Vincent.
Max Strus. Yes, Vanilla Chill. Max Strus.
Vanilla Chill saying Celtics win Strus first basket.
Yeah, see, they just plug guys in. You know what I mean? It's what they do, bro.
So. Chicago guy, Max Strus.
Shout out.
Alex Turek, meanwhile, said Boston W. Eco Bean says Heat in 5. You got to believe Eco Bean. Give us a Game 6.
Give me a Game 6, please. Please.
So, Boston fans, I listened to the Bill Simmons podcast the other night. They were very
Shout out.
Why would you do that to yourself?
They were, because I like Bill Simmons.
Okay.
They were very encouraged by the fact that A-Rod and Derek Jeter were both present in Miami at the game.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Because both of those players are obviously on the New York Yankees, the only team ever to blow a 3-0 lead.
This is correct.
In a best of 7 series against what city was that? Boston. So, there's this whole thing of in that Game 5 of that series went to 14 or 15 innings. So if we go triple overtime tonight, might be putting my money on Game 7, but we'll see.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
I mean, I hope you're right. I want more. I need more basketball. Please don't give me a whole weekend.
Please more basketball. No, Eco Bean. We're not going to join you in NBA rehab trying to get over our addiction to NBA basketball. We're going to ride this out.
Yeah.
Until that pool runs dry.
Until it runs
We
dry.
are addicts.
I want more. Feed me more.
And then it's just a short little gap that you got to get to, and you got the 4th of July in there until you get to Summer League.
Yeah.
And then we get some more hoops.
And
and also,
right back in.
watch some Sky games, y'all.
You know what was actually really cool about that episode of the Bill Simmons podcast that I listened to?
Is that the DNVR Nuggets crew got a shout out?
Yes.
Damn right.
Adam and the DNVR crew got a shout out, and it was just a very, me listening in my room, I was like, holy shit.
What do you know? A national
Work for
NBA
affiliate of that
platform
company.
Yes.
telling people, hey, maybe check out the local platform that knows the most about the Nuggets.
And they have Bomani Jones on their show,
Dude,
man.
I was going to mention that too.
it was
Today's
very-
episode
it was
going
very
on right
cool.
now. DNVR Nuggets, Bomani Jones
Awesome
as
stuff.
their
It
guest.
was very cool, honestly. And Kevin O'Connor, who I know Matt also does not like, but he gave a big shout out to Morris and just said, they do a good job. And I think they understand, he was talking about how Adam had talked a lot about, just sort of deferred to them about some of the growth of Jokic as a player. And it was a cool thing to listen to.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
go check it out, guys. Listen up.
Renewable and rechargeable. Does CHGO allow betting on company property?
Yes, but the app doesn't work on our Wi-Fi, so you have to disconnect.
You got to
from
log off the Wi-Fi because
Oh, wow.
it's not strong enough with everything else that's being used around here. But then, yes, the app does work in here, in our office space. And yes, I do it all the time.
Yes, he does.
Renee
And our
says,
boss, who's standing on the other side of this glass door, encourages it. Thank you for watching and listening to the CHGO Bulls Podcast, brought to you by DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Don't forget that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get advantage of all of those great deals. Make yourself a same-game parlay for Game 5 Heat Celtics tonight.
Yeah.
That's it for us this week. You got a Bulls HQ with the GOAT and Mark K on deck tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then, even though it's a holiday weekend, we already have recorded and got ready for you an episode on Monday. It'll be in your feeds first thing Monday on YouTube, in your podcast feeds.
Face.
Doing some AMAs.
Yes.
Answering questions from y'all.
That's always fun.
So, have a wonderful holiday weekend. Have fun. Be safe.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you Tuesday of next week. Big Dave is at Bow BWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. Our pal and producer, Joey Spathis, is at Joey Spathis. You tell baby Spathis to be good, okay? And, you know he's going to be partying this weekend.
You know he is, man.
Baby
Well,
Joey.
maybe. He might just chill. He got things to do. That's all I know.
All right, first
He
thing
got
first.
Baby
things
Joey,
to do.
mix in a couple waters, all right?
Oh, yeah. Mix in some waters, baby Joey.
We'll see, man. He
Some
might
people
be-
don't learn that until their late 20s or early 30s.
This is true.
You learn that now.
He learned it now because he's a baby.
You know he's tearing up Beantown tonight.
Oh.
Tearing it up.
Oh.
All right, y'all. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll talk to you next time. See you, Red. Be good. Appreciate y'all.
Rest in love, Tina Turner. Peace. We